Hello everyone and welcome to part 4 of the 20 kilo e-waste series. Today's video I'm going to make a start on these pins, or what's left of these pins. That's all the mess they're always left with after filtering. There's about 6 filters in there. They need to be incinerated and thrown in aqua regia. Then I have the BGA chips, 300 grams. Need to get them incinerated, pan the gold out of them. Here we have the silver that was recovered from the IC chips. That's all that chip ash from the IC chips. Once I've panned the gold out of the BGA chips, I'm going to throw the remaining ash in with that, incinerate it again, and then do a aqua regia boil, see if there's any gold in there. Now I've made a start on the mixed stuff. I'm literally picking it out one piece at a time with a pair of tweezers. So I've got the MLCCs, the yellow tantalums, black tantalums. This is just transistors, LEDs, anything really that might contain gold that needs incinerating. Then I have some small IC chips and I don't know what these are really, capacitors. They contain silver, so I've got all that to work through still. I need to continue removing those piece by piece. That's going to take a while. So my main focus on this video is going to be the pins and the chips. And hopefully then that's all the big stuff sorted, and I can make a start on all this little stuff after. So the first thing I need to do is incinerate all of these filters. I'm just going to burn these with a blowtorch until no more smoke is produced, and then they'll be ready to throw in some poor man's aqua regia. So once it's done, it should look a little bit something like this, just glowing red, and no more smoke is being produced. So for the poor man's aqua regia, I'll be using around about 100 mils of hydrochloric acid and probably half a teaspoon of potassium nitrate. Now the way I've gone around doing these pins, I don't actually feel was the cheapest option. What I probably should have done was cut the pins down to just showing the gold material and then throwing it in some copper chloride. That would have probably been the cheaper option. It would have took a lot longer, but I think it would have been the cheaper option for such low grade material. But we'll see what we get from it. Just after about 5 minutes of having a little bit of heat on it, as you can see, there's quite a vigorous reaction going on in there. Hopefully that's a good sign. I'm going to suction filter this one. I've done a stannous chloride test on it and it doesn't look promising at all. It's very faint showing on the stannous chloride. Well, we'll do the drop anyway and see what we get. For the gold precipitation, I'll be using ferrous sulfate, which is my preferred method of precipitating gold. And as you can see, that doesn't look very promising at all. The solution's barely changed colour. I'll allow it to settle overnight anyway, and then we'll see what we get. Okay, here's the total gold so far for the series. Pop that on the scale. 37.6. And this is what was recovered from the pins. Not a lot. Throw that in there. And 37.6. Not even a tenth of a gram. It's very disappointing really for the amount of time that it's took. Medium and low grade pins just aren't worth the effort if you haven't got kilos of them. So it looks like it's time to move on to the BGAs, and hopefully I can get a better result. Well, after the disappointment with the pins, I decided to go ahead and incinerate the BGA chips finally. So I've got all that powder there. I'm going to wash this in a moment, and then I'll take it outside and start panning. I've also separated all the fiberglass stuff. Now I know this stuff can actually hold some of the bond wires. So what I might do is I might just treat that with some poor man's aqua regia and see if I can recover any more from that. So I'm going to get this washed, and then next time you see me, I'll be panning the material. Okay, so in this beaker I've got the concentrates from the panning. Looks very beautiful. And in this one I've added the tailings from the regular ICs, I've added the tailings from the BGAs and the fiberglasses from the BGAs. I throw them all in together, treat them with some poor man's aqua regia. Who knows, might get a little bit of gold out of it. Hopefully not. I'm hoping all of the gold was recovered in the panning, which would be nice. But I'm going to start with the concentrates anyway. Just throw in 50 mils of hydrochloric acid and a spoon of potassium nitrate to get things going. This is a much better reaction, a lot better than from them pins. I'm quite excited about this one. I'll leave this until there's no more reaction. Then I can get it filtered, precipitate the gold, and see what we get from this lot. After that, I'll make a start on the all the tailings, and I'll get them done, and we'll get them all weighed up at the end. Again, ferrous sulfate for the precipitation. The stainless test on this one showed a strong positive for gold, and as you can see, it's darkened up really well. And as you can see, I've got gold floating on the surface, which is always a good sign. That typically means I've got above 0.5 gram. I normally see that around 0.5 gram. Right, so the last thing I want to do today is get these tailings done. Now this is the opposite of what I normally look for. I actually don't want a reaction from this. Very little reaction means that I've got all of the gold in with the in the concentrates. I don't want to see any in the tailings. That means that the panning was good, and that'll be my way forward in future, I think. Panning the chip ash, it reduces the amount of hydrochloric acid that I use greatly. This is just a test, just to make sure that I am doing well with the panning. So I've added some fresh hydrochloric acid, and I'm going to throw in some potassium nitrate, see if I get any reaction, and then take it from there. I'll show you if anything exciting happens. So this is about as exciting as it's got. There's very little reaction in there, which is good. That means there's barely any gold in there, which means I got it all with the panning. The stainless test showed a little bit of a positive sign, nothing great. So what I'll do is I'll suction filter it anyway, throw some ferrous sulfate in there, I may as well, and just see how much does drop. Okay, let's get some weight. Here's the gold from the tailings. Looks about as much as there was from them pins. And that's the gold from the BGAs. Stunning. I'll get the tailings weighed first. Again, less than 1/10 of a gram. Yep. Right, now for the BGAs. What's that? 36, 38, 0.9 gram. I'm happy with that. I'm quite happy about the small amount of gold from the tailings as well. Obviously that means that I've done a good job with the panning. Right, everything seems to be going well now. I weighed up that little bit of silver from the start of the video. There was 0.5 gram in total, which is not a lot. I'm not going to become a millionaire off that. Next video, all of this stuff is going to get finished. It's all going to get done. I'm going to do it all in one video. It'll be these two together and the rest of it. Silver, palladium, hopefully, and hopefully a little bit more gold. So if you're enjoying it, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.